Well, this performance from Colby Covington as he shoots for a takedown here. Very much
damn, dude.
He is 35 years of age now.
Look at Leon isolate Colby's right hand.
Oh! That was crazy. He skater swam out of that. Holy shit. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Never Bored With
Oh shit!
What? No way! He did it! Oh shit! Hey y'all, welcome back to Never Bored With MMA. I'm your host, those are my co-hosts here,
Jason.
And oh my goodness, guys, 2023 was a crazy year for MMA. A lot of crazy moments, a lot of epic fights. Oh my goodness, it was exciting year to be an MMA fan, but it can't get any better than this because we're ending off the year with a crazy banger card, but also a crazy main event. UFC 296's main event, the last main event of 2023, bro. Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, bro. And this fight throughout the week up the build was already crazy enough, but then once media day happened with all that crazy, all that shit talking, bro, craziness, epicness. Some of you feel patriotic, some of y'all feel like those lines have been crossed. Oh my goodness, Jason, bro. Before we get into the crazy skills matchup and everything, let's talk about some of the craziness already. Oh my goodness, Jason, you want to go in?
Yeah, man. So we know what we get when we get Colby Covington coming into any kind of fight. He's gonna do the most shit talking that you will never hear from anyone else. And I this might be a little controversial, but I think he's not to say he's the best, but he's the craziest amount of shit talker there is, I think, in the UFC. I don't think there is anybody that even compares to Conor McGregor. Doesn't compare. Like the levels he takes it is next level, and
yeah, I mean,
it's debatable.
I can think the only spiritual successful Chael's son and shit talking would be Colby Covington, to be honest. I mean, because Chael was the guy that back in the day would call your wife a hooker and everything like that, bro. He would drag you through the mud, and honestly, Colby Covington is not afraid to do the same either, bro. Because honestly, man, like in terms of marketability, promotability, I mean, he went through his career of like almost being cut from the UFC despite having a good career, and even so that he had to turn around being an entertainer of the craziest level. Honestly, it's up to you guys to determine if he went too far. Let us know in the comments below. But honestly, we here are really just focused on the MMA part of it, but we can't go into it without talking about it because regardless, it's part of it now because of we know that let's talk about sort of the mindset going to this fight because that's why this part's important because normally Leon, the proper gentleman English guy, is very focused, deliberate, and very methodical with his approach. And Colby Covington, he fights the same way regardless with each of his fighters, any of the fights he goes into, right? But what he brings to the table is that mind rattling build up to the fight, and even in the fight, in that pacing style, how that affects you. And then that's because because of what happened in that press conference with the comments that Colby brought up about Leon's dad. We've never seen Leon really act up like that, ever, right? And he's supposed to be the champion right now, right? Kamaru Usman's brought it up. I've been seeing a lot of because Kamaru Usman is the nexus point for both these fighters, since, obviously fighting the most between both of them, right? And he talked about as being a champ, right? He had to go through to Colby talking about his shit with his dad, and everything like they do, but it's like Kamaru's like, look, if as a champ, you gotta not let those things get ahead of you, and that way you're able to focus on the fight. But as someone like Leon Edwards, it was again not to say that he had no right to feel the way he did, because honestly, damn, it's line. I get why he feels like the line was crossing his end, but as a champ and as someone with his fighting style, that's super methodical, super chess match but also dangerous in the sense of picking his shots and everything like that, bro, and being very methodical in his approach to every fight he goes into. Throwing a wrench like Colby Covington, what he said about his comments of his dad, is something so personal, and to see him react like that, I don't know, man. If you were already leaning for you lean Leon Edwards in the win because everything else, the win's over, Kamaru Usman and all that, and then also the way he really approaches his fights, right? But with something like that, you never know. I mean, and the pace Colby Covington brings, you have to be focused on that pacing rather than trying to take his head off.
Right.
And, because of what he said about your dad, you know what I mean? And, and if you let one of those emotions get in the way when you're supposed to, really focus on that takedown or that submission defense or something like that, bro, I don't know, man. This seems like Colby Covington may have a path of victory opening up as the week, and especially after that press conference. His path to victory seemed to have been a lot more wider in that sense. Jason, what are your thoughts, bro?
No, absolutely. I think when these fighters are going into these matches, and we've seen it plenty of times where the mind games sometimes will work.
No.
and it will mess up the fighter for the whole fight.
McGregor
has done that so many times. Aldo, he did it to Aldo so easily.
Yeah.
Even Colby did it against freaking Jorge Masvidal. It was personal the whole time.
The Obama phone
got him really pissed. Not even when they talked about his kids. It was the Obama phone that got him.
Obama phone. Damn.
The Obama phone got him, and he lost the fight. And when you see stuff like that where people can get in your head, it's not easy to fight. And that's where we're gonna see, like, does Leon have the mental capacity to be able to, even though he heard that and he's kind of been showing that aggression after all that. Even at the walkouts and stuff, he's just trying to go at him. He was like, he had an aggression to him.
It's like, no more gentlemen today, baby. Yeah, no gentlemen.
No UK gentlemen.
No, he may be going to his Jamaican roots for this one, bro.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, bro. Part of me, okay. Side note, part of me hopes that if we get a new mythical fighter, deadly Leon Edwards, bro. Emotionally charged, angry Leon. Because look, bro. If he's already a methodical fighter before when he was power against Kamaru Usman during his second fight.
Right.
You could imagine if he can carry that power and consistency throughout all the rounds and be that threat. That's what I'm saying. That edge could what he needed to take him to the next level as champ. I mean, it would definitely make him a more interesting fighter for sure. But I don't know. That's just me hopeful, being in a universe where a MAGA Colby versus enraged Leon. He's like, oh my goodness, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, we have to see, will Leon be able to do that? Because, dude, it's not easy. When you got someone talking about, your dead father, it is not easy to kind of keep composure when, with all... Let's be honest. Leon has lived a bad childhood. He's talked about it plenty of times, having to get out of that and go into MMA as a way of...
As an outlet.
an outlet, right? Yeah. So, he's lived a hard life, and for him to have to get, someone's talk shit like that, about your deceased father and the way he... said it, dude, I'll be honest, I did not expect even a line like that.
I know, bro.
It was just out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my, did he... and then the reaction.
Yeah, man.
And I think Kamaru Usman said it best. He was leaning towards Leon to win the fight, but then when he saw that Leon reacted like that, it kind of, swayed him a little bit towards Colby, because, when you're a champ, and Kamaru Usman also said, when you're a champ, you got to pretend like you're at the top. You're sitting on a pedestal, or not on a pedestal, but you're sitting at the king's throne, and all the people down there are the contenders, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And he kind of lost his composure and kind of allowed Colby to come up to the pedestal by reacting,
or him going down,
going down.
Because that's the thing. What Colby does is he drags you down in his territory,
right?
But just that's in his shit talking and his fighting style,
too. And the thing is, his shit talking and his fighting kind of match, you said. It's like he just wants you to take you to deep waters in the mental game and on the fight in the in the ground and pound, or in wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So with the ultimate cardio, I guess you could say.
Let's go into the strategy and what makes these fighters great. Then, Jason, if we're already talking about what makes Colby great in his shit talking, right? And it's the same thing. What makes him great in his fighting style? He's going to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
One of the critiques we have going into is that Leon probably has a lot of footage of Colby now, considering that he kind of fights the same throughout. But what makes Colby's style so great, why he doesn't need to change, is that look. He has an elite level wrestling, right? But what's great about that wrestling is that it gives him that cardio advantage he's training for too, right? And because he's able to keep a relentless pace, like you mentioned, the cardio, he's the cardio king of the in his division probably,
right?
And with that cardio, he's able to drag you into deep waters with level changing constantly, and with that level changing, he's able to threaten that striking throughout. Because if you've missed the feint on the takedown, he's able to charge you when he does that. I mean, that's been his game plan throughout. That was his plan against someone like Kamaru Usman, but the thing is, Kamaru Usman's able to adapt because he understands that style really well.
Right.
But if you're going against someone like Leon Edwards, who's really, he has to worry about the wrestling defense first and foremost, and against those constant level changes, it's going to be hard for him to get his plan out unless he does some creative ways. Right. Let's talk about more about Colby, Jason. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Colby, on the other end, he has that, like we said, the constant pressure and just not letting his foot off the gas. He will keep coming at you. It doesn't matter what you throw it back at him, he's going to come forward the whole time. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I think he has such a tough mental game that it's hard to, you could knock him out, but we've seen him get to those even his Kamaru Usman 2 fight, he almost could have got knocked out, but his will was, he was able to push through and just kind of play defense at the end and survive the round.
I mean, he got people to talk about that first fight, like, like that Mark Goddard was the reason
Oh,
why
Mark Goddard,
there.
yeah.
I mean, look, to be honest, like, that's what I'm saying, like, to the point now he's able to get people to think that first fight doesn't matter, but that second fight, though, is pretty clear, so.
Yeah, and, I mean, even the second fight, though, he had people thinking that, like, he won 3, 4, and 5.
That's the thing, it's like, you go to the decision, and it's like, you always make it that issue, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's another thing, and I will say one thing, Colby, he's not much of a power puncher, and he's more of a volume puncher, and that's his style, and he kind of just drowns you in the volume.
Punches.
Yeah, punches, which there's a lot of fighters that do that same style, and it can work. He doesn't throw much power, and I think even Nate Diaz is kind of like the same too. He has a lot of he's not throwing power shots, and we saw what he did to Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
So it is going to be an interesting matchup because of stuff like that. Like even though Nate Diaz when he was fighting Leon, he was kind of playing around a lot and not like really taking it serious until like the last 5th round where he kind of caught him.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy that Nate Diaz could, like, by MMA mat standards, depending on how this goes, he could be the greatest welterweight.
The only one to rock Leon the way he did.
Exactly, bro. And then, oh my God, that's hilarious. But I mean, honestly, if we're gonna re-roast Leon, we can also let's talk about some of what makes Leon great too.
Oh,
right?
for sure, yeah.
Because even though despite the fact that Nate Diaz kind of put a chink in that arm a little bit, right? That's the kind of thing though that Leon Edwards, should be used to by now. Training those 5-round fights against Usman, especially when he fought Usman the first round he lost, right? The second time, right, when the KO happened, it was at elevation.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's right, like those disadvantages against him was losing that fight, and then boom, that miracle craziness, and then as champion, right, he took advantage of maybe less timid Kamaru Usman, but proved that like that style of like, hey, I can still wrestle, against these guys. I even took him down in that fight too.
Right.
That's the first takedown on Usman. Colby couldn't do that
Colby
officially,
couldn't even,
which is crazy because that shows that Leon, even throughout, is still constantly adapting to this game. It's weird that Leon, one of the criticisms of Leon is he's not as an active fighter, but comparison to Colby, who's even less active, that gives Leon the advantage in that phase, technically a more active schedule, and fighting the same opponents in Kamaru Usman with his victories, right? I mean, the thing is, you could argue that Colby fought a more prime Usman, but I mean, Usman was dominating that second fight until the KO happened. So look, man, Leon pulled it up in the worst conditions and then capitalized at that rematch after. So again, that's what I'm saying, where it's like Leon Edwards, what makes him great is that he is a great kickboxer too. His striking is some of the best we've seen. Honestly, I just love watching him his training footage because he's so crisp with his elbows and everything like that, right? His movement is super great, and because of these constant fights for these wrestlers, I'm pretty sure he's able to realize now that like these guys are gonna go for the takedown. I have to utilize my movement, and I think that since Leon Edwards' striking is so good that he can capitalize things on that movement, throw in some leg kicks in there to really limit the wrestling that Colby has, right? Go shots to the body, but the thing is that like he's gonna have to be. Normally, before all the shit talking and everything happened, right, Leon really would have to worry about, I think, maintaining that, the leveling as well, keeping a more high guard, so that way, a high guard but lower stance, so he can, anticipate those takedowns, the wrestling, or maybe even if he's lucky, slip in a knee, depending how the rounds go, right?
Right. I think if Leon can keep a distance and then kind of counter off of Colby's shots, I think he has a good chance of winning too. Because one thing about Colby, his striking, it kind of works only because he's always faking in for coming in for the wrestling,
right? The ground, yeah.
So the thing is though, from his last fight that we saw, like we said, he hasn't fought in a while, so we don't have much a lot of footage on him. But his striking hasn't really changed much, like the style of striking.
Yeah.
And it's always been a little bit like sloppy with the I don't even know how to describe it because it's not like...
I would argue, like, I don't want to think the right word would be sloppy. It's more so, like, it's like any wrestler who adopts the striking part. It's going to be very fundamental.
It's not like crisp like Kamaru Usman.
You're right. Because the thing is, Kamaru Usman capitalized on that one-punch knockout power, right? And he's able... Which makes his cardio even crazier at that point, right, in retrospect. Because Kamaru Usman trying to kill you, and then Colby's able to survive that to those very ends of that, that fight, right?
Right.
But even so, like, you see that, like, with Colby's cardio, right, as an asset, he's able to be sloppy because, like, he's going to threaten the takedown. All those strikers, if because if it's a striker versus striker matchup, it's very unlikely that even if you mess up and overcommit, the striker's going to capitalize with something on the ground, right? To bring to the ground. Unless it's something like on the cage or something like that, right? But with someone like Colby, like, even if he gets sloppy in the strikes, like, chances are it's like he can use that time and
Just to
take a scramble and
Yeah.
then make something get onto Leon's legs, right?
That's true.
Leon's able to, like, if he's able to stop the takedowns, that's going to be great. But if he's going up against the fence in that scramble positions, it's going to be hard. And that's the thing is also, like, if he like sort of misses in those scrambles and for some reason where it's like Colby has it on the ground where he's somewhat on top, it's north-south position, not north-south, where it's like, if even Colby has it like where Leon's like across his chest like this and like across his back, right? And if Colby's able to, implement those movements where he's able to, like, if you've seen his fights, he's able to, like, when he gets you on those positions like that in the ground, or, he's able to, like, stuff you, stiff his takedowns or stuff his head or anything like that, he puts so much pressure on your neck and on your shoulders.
Yes,
like,
we've seen it. Yeah.
And that's going to make you tire out. It's brutal going against that kind of style, right?
It is.
I mean, with Kamaru Usman versus, Leon Edwards, like, Kamaru Usman would, I would argue, like, he uses wrestling to show his dominance, but he's really trying to show that he's better in Edwards in every aspect, which is why he would include the striking.
Right.
But that's the part where it's like Colby doesn't care. He's going to keep that same style.
Yeah.
So I would think, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach to him. But again, it's more like if he's able to keep that same cardio pace throughout and capitalize it so on Leon's mistakes, hopefully.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think since he like you said, what was it? What was the saying?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, what Colby does works in ways, and the only person that really wasn't working was Usman, because he has a good wrestling defense and he's also a wrestler. Right?
I mean, you saw, like Jorge Masvidal trained against Colby, was his friend and all that stuff, right? And was able, he knows his game plan, and even so, like, even though he did have some success, not getting submitted. He's still by the end of the 5th round, and even in the fight, you could tell, like, he was
gassed.
Dude, like, he literally was, like, hanging on a cross, street moves and stuff. That's what he looked like. I mean, not to the jokes aside, like, he brought it to the point where, like, damn, like, we were all rooting for Jorge, but shit, bro, like, damn, it did not. Colby showed that, there's still elite, there's levels to that in that sense,
Wrestling, yep.
And I mean, like, and maybe that's because Colby's able to show up more fresh because of that. But I mean, now that's another thing. It's like, the fact that Colby is not as active in that sense comparison to Leon, I don't know, how do you think that's going to affect the fight? Do you think it's going to be a big thing?
I honestly I don't think so, because I mean, from what we've seen with how Colby is so persistent about training, and he's one of those guys that doesn't I'm not fighting, I'm just gonna go enjoy my time and go eat food and get fat and eat cheeseburgers, he's very, like, committed about the game, and I can respect him for that. Because he's always working hard, and he always stays fit. Like, you don't ever see his face, like, change, like, from just from while he's not training. Like, you know how some fighters, when they're, like, don't have a fight coming up, they just kind of, like, bulk up a little bit from just not, he's always, like, every time you see him do an interview or anything, like, he doesn't look like he's bulks up a lot from eating food and just, not, keeping his body in shape. So I'm assuming he trains those. How long was it? Like a year and a half almost that he wasn't fighting.
Yeah, and I think also he fights more close to his natural weight class.
Yes,
he says that he's not a weight bully.
Yeah, so and because of that, I just don't think he wasn't wasting time those, like, 1.5 years he wasn't fighting. And I will give him one credit too. Like, I don't want to say credit, but from what he said. He said yes to a lot of fights that he got offered, but for some reason they just never were
fell through.
Fell through. He was supposed to fight Khamzat apparently, I think in June or I don't know. There was a lot of talk. He was saying that he had fights that were supposed to happen that he said yes to, but just never happened. So I'm assuming he was always staying ready and always, like, sharpening his skills. That's what he said. So I don't think that would be
he did special, with the new coaching and everything.
Yeah.
And not as new now, but even so, right? Not being on American Top Team and all that stuff.
Right, with MMA Masters now.
Yeah. So I think if they're able to, really hone in on his skills, I mean, if he's active, then that really shouldn't make too much of a difference, But I think it's just in competition, like, that part of it can be. It can be. You could argue though that Usman came back too early against Leon for that. The third fight. So again, that's something. I mean, I don't know. We shall see. But I think in terms of just past victory, we kind of highlighted some of it. But just to kind of make it clear, I think for me, what I see is that for Leon's path to victory, it has to be cutting off angles to get the leg kicks to take out the power and basically the mechanics for all of Colby's game plans, because it's off the third of the takedown. You have to, if he cuts off angles, utilizes the fence to to his advantage to support him if he gets taken down or if he gets for his double leg or single. You know, to minimize the need for a scramble to happen, that's what, you know, Leon Edwards' goal is, so he can pick his shots.
Right.
I think his best chance for, you know, this is for points. That being said, though, you know, because of the emotion stuff, that kind of changes things a little bit. But again, that's what I think for Leon. For Colby, again, a lot of his, you know, style, he doesn't really need to change it technically, but I really think that if he really wants to, you know, he needs to really establish early on the wrestling early on with Leon, so that way that he can start going in rounds 3, 4, and 5, working on the striking. So that way, like, if Leon Edwards is too busy stuffing takedowns and cardio and all that stuff and using up his gas tanks, I think then Colby can really pull something off later on. So that's what I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, you know, able to but again also what I would think is, because Leon has such great striking power and ability as well, Colby also is at risk of, you know, if he gets too close and makes a mistake, Leon will capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And again, because of that little edge of what happened during the presses, you know, that could make that incentive be a lot more easier, but that could also be a risk for Leon to overcommit on things he normally would.
Right.
That's how I see this could potentially go. But again, in terms of something for Colby specifically, again, he has to, I think, you know, just really make Leon overcommit to strikes for certain things, so that way he can capitalize on the wrestling. Because I don't think in stand-up, like, Colby, again, like, it's because he's such a... Just because Leon's so much better in striking in terms of Colby, that he can't really, I don't think, work on standing up with him that well, in my opinion, just because of the level of striking we see that, you know, Leon has put up against. So,
right.
But again, given that, you know, what happened with Nate Diaz with Leon Edwards. That's what I'm saying. That's where Colby can really, you know, really capitalize. Where it's like, look, if he's able to really make, you know, put Leon to the point where get him a little bit confident in terms of the wrestling, boom, he can come up on top,
right,
and then really capitalize it. Right. And Colby will finish the fight if it comes to that point. Right. He won't showboat at that point.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Jason, what about you?
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with some of the passive victory you were saying. I mean, Leon, if he can stop the takedown, if he can stop the first, like, 2 or 3 takedowns, I think he has a really good chance of just getting a win by points, because as soon as you stop the takedowns and any sort of wrestling exchanges where Colby, you know, is the one coming at you and trying to take you down, I think that gives a huge advantage if Leon can stop them. I think it's kind of similar to the third fight, because what Leon had with Usman, like, he got taken down, I think, in the beginning, but later the other takedowns that he tried weren't working anymore. Yeah. So then Usman kind of just had to rely on striking just to kind of survive in a way, right? So I think it's the same principle here. If Leon can stop the early takedowns, like the first 2-3 takedowns, and show that, like, his takedowns aren't going to work, then I think it could be just a striking kickboxing match where Leon is 100%, not 100, I don't want to say 100%, but levels ahead of Colby, and I think that's where he could capitalize and win the fight by points or even knocking out. Interesting.
See, because I would think that Colby would, even if the takedowns were not working, I would still think he would do them regardless. Just
probably,
to, you know,
probably.
That's what I would think. But that's just me. I mean, that's interesting though. I would think that because Colby Covington usually sticks to his plan, but if Leon is able to, you know, really stuff every single attempt, I guess in the first and second round.
Yeah, it's like then... I mean, sure, he has. I will say, like, passive victory for Colby then would be kind of the opposite. Like, if he just keeps pushing those takedowns and trying to mix it up with the striking and then come for the double leg or the single leg and trying to take him down, then if he gets that kind of will show that, okay, could be one of those kind of matches similar to what his match against Jorge Masvidal was.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think if Leon stops the first 3, you're right. Colby probably would keep trying to do it, but I think if he just shows enough, like, dominance to where his takedown defense is, like, amazing, and Colby's not able to even really, I guess, cause any sort of takedown, then it's like, I don't know if Colby would just keep trying for it. Maybe he will, but at the end of the day, he's the one that's been talking all the crap, so he's better put a good show on. So if he just hugs Leon the whole time trying to take him down, then I don't know. This is me just, you know.
I mean, I have a feeling, though, that for me, I personally think that's probably how it's going to go, given that even beforehand, it probably wouldn't be wise to try to do a complete stand-up round with someone.
Right, absolutely. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Especially, but the thing is, if you're Colby, too, and you've already egged on Leon the way you have, you probably... assuming, you know, hoping Leon would lean in the direction of going more striking heavy than
to Colby, knock you out.
Yeah, and then Colby's going to try to, you know, get more capitalize on that aggression and create those moments where he can get the takedown and then just win by ground control or something like that too.
Right.
That's my question. My question is, do you think that it was crazy that Leon Edwards was the only one to really ever take down Kamaru Usman? My question is, do you think Leon's going to be able to take down Colby?
I think so. I mean, if I'm being honest, well, the thing is, if he gets in a similar position of how when Leon took down Kamaru Usman, then it's definitely possible, because it was just a simple trip almost that got Kamaru. So
Leon is slick like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like some of the slicker like stuff that you just don't expect for someone that's supposed to be known as a striker or a kickboxer, for them to pull like simple tricks and trips like that, he definitely can. And we haven't really we've seen a little bit of when Colby was on the ground and he was able to escape, because he is a wrestler at the end of the day. But dude, I think it's definitely possible. But at the end of the day, with all the emotions in play, I don't know if Leon is going to go for something like that. We know what he wants.
Yeah.
He's already said that the only way he'd feel satisfied is if he knocks him out cold, right? Because of everything. So I'd be surprised if he tries to do something like that. Maybe he'll do that when Colby goes in for the clinch, and then just when he has to kind of play defense, just kind of trip him and be on top, just like how he did to Kamaru. So it's possible. I think so. Damn.
All right, man. That's clear. I think that Leon normally would have that skill set, but because of the the aggression going in, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Let's see how that goes, man. But I mean, I guess we can go to official predictions. And Jason, I'll go first in the predictions. And to be honest, I probably don't even know what my answer is going to be until I say it.
Yeah.
To be honest, but if I'm going to do some feelings, that I think what Kamaru Usman said really hit home, and I think as much as I want the mythical fighter of Headshot Dead Leon to come back again, Assassin's Creed Leon Edwards comes in for the revenge of his father type shit. I don't think that an emotional fighter shouldn't be what Leon Edwards should be known for, and he isn't known for that. I think that things like this, with a guy who's used to, like I said before in the beginning, has very strict about his cans, very methodical, super slick, but that comes with time, energy, practice, and being committed to this game. But if something like Colby is able to throw you off, he's able to create a lot more opportunities in the octagon because of something like that. Because normally, if you zig, you would think that if in a regular fight, because you normally zig because you want to beat his ass so bad, because what he said, you zag. Yeah. Because you zagged, you got bonked and knocked out.
Right.
That's what my fear is that normally that the tool, the sharpness of your blade, really is how well you hone it and how well you fight with it. But if you're always just going angry aggression, your blade's going to be chipped eventually, and you're going to get messed up. It's going to break, it's going to crack. And that's the thing, is this is his first title defense. That's another thing, is that to have this kind of behavior. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Second title defense. Thank you. Second title defense against an opponent. Against someone new like this, though. I don't think this is a good. I'm not saying it's not fair for him to have that, because he, again, like with all the history, of course you should feel you have the right to feel how you're supposed to feel. But at this stage of this level of the game, against this kind of opponent who's able to tout to be toe to toe with Kamaru Usman, who's again said if Kamaru Usman wasn't champion with Colby Covington, like these kinds of things are don't bode well, especially if you're gonna have a little bit cloud in your judgment when you need to be as sharp as you can with, especially a guy who's has more in his tool set than just striking, who's great at wrestling and can implement the striking.
Right.
So I think because of this, Colby Covington gets to the potential decision win. I think it's a decision, but to be honest, I'm hopeful that Leon can get a late, middle to late round knockout. But because of how Colby does the pace, and he knows it's a title fight, I don't think he's gonna try to do uber crazy. He'd stick to his plan, his bread and butter, and won't do something crazy, like do crazy risk for knockouts or anything like that. But more so make it a living hell for Leon in terms of anywhere he takes it. So that's what I think. Jason, what about you?
Very interesting, man.
I mean, look, I don't like Colby Covington's character. I think what he said went too far, but it doesn't change the fact that it's an effective strategy.
It's effective strategy.
It's an effective strategy, bro. Yeah. This is the art of war. Your lives on the line. You know what I mean?
So I think definitely I would agree in certain ways where the mental game is super important when it comes to these kind of fights, because you don't want your game to be thrown off by your thoughts and by what like you said, anger, aggression. But at the end of the day, sometimes that anger and aggression can fuel you to perform even better and be more precise.
I hope so, yeah.
Sure, we did see a little bit of aggression in the press conference and maybe in the official weigh-ins and all that, but I don't know. I think Leon is going to stay sharp when it counts.
Okay.
When it comes to the cage work, when he's in the cage, I think he's going to stay sharp. and I know what I want to see, so I'll say that first. I want to see him knock him out, but I think most likely it will probably be a decision or 4th round TKO.
Okay.
For Leon to
Damn.
win.
Okay. Damn, bro. Okay, you normally honestly coming in,
Headshot dead.
I honestly, in terms of a fan, that'd be crazy. I don't know, man. I think my question is, what do you think the UFC who do they prefer to win?
I mean, we all know who the UFC would prefer.
Probably
to win.
Colby. Yeah.
It's the UFC's an American company. You know, it's like they want because
Colby wasn't talking about champ shit after like after like a 1 or 2 title offenses, So I can see that where it's like the company would prefer one way or the other. But.
Yeah, and that's who they want. But at the end of the day, it won't matter because it depends on who performs better and who judges and all that stuff. But, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. I'm very excited, and I hate that my excitement grew because of stuff that happened in the press conference, but
hey man, the press conference did its job then.
It did do its job, but at what cost? I don't know.
We'll find out. We will actually find out on this fight, bro. And that's crazy that will Leon be able to, make Colby pay for what he said? Will Colby Covington basically pull the rug from under Leon? His glorious title reign so far, pull the rug from underneath and shatter all the other party for him. And Colby Covington's notorious for doing that for a lot of his fights. So honestly, this is gonna be crazy to see how it goes. But guys, honestly, I can't wait to see how this goes. Jason, like you said, super excited, bro. Oh man, I can't wait. I don't know, guys. I can't wait to see what happens next. So without further ado, here's a reaction. UFC 296's main event: Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington for the welterweight championship of the world. All right, I predict he's gonna do the takedown within 2 minutes.
Edwards opening orthodox here.
Colby has a higher stance. His hands are positioned really nice.
Try to use the octagon side to take him down stand conventionally because Colby's a southpaw. He usually fights southpaw and digs a lot of body kicks.
Damn, bro.
Keep that weapon available to him.
The fact that Colby isn't pushing the space makes me nervous. Look at that. 2 minutes, over 2 minutes. He had done the takedown, a single one. Kind of crazy.
I know.
Oh, all right, we're trading now. Oh, bro. Oh. Damn, you got Colby being really kind of like not being his usual self, I guess in the sense of like, that
gotta be
pacing we're used
smart,
to. Yeah, it is your last title fight chance pretty much. Finally, bro. Damn, bro. Yeah, actually, thinking about it, they're right.
Yeah.
Leon likes this slower, measured approach. Looks like the mental thing didn't affect Leon at all. Looks he's like, all right, I'm locking in then. Oh. See, he's trying to throw that straight left. Or the cross. I think he's trying to do the same thing that Nate Diaz did. Oh! Damn, bro. Leon's so crisp right now, bro. So fast. He's always in front of him, too. Damn, bro. Leon's getting closer, man. He's honestly, Covington should be doing the wrestling stuff so much earlier on. Because now that even if he does that stuff, that's just going to be another thing to worry about. The power for your takedowns is going to come from your legs, man. And your strikes, too. I think he's having a hard time reading Leon now. Shit.
He is.
Oh! Oh! Nah, bro, he's compromising that leg. Now you got him switching stances now, too. Damn, bro. Colby Covington fucked this shit up, bro.
I think he made the moment too big for him.
Oh, my God. Oh, finally! But Leon's not accepting it. Oh! Why would you? Wow. Oh! Oh, shit. Alright, this is what Covington was looking for, but that doesn't mean he really gets the round right now, right?
he has to keep it and really show damage.
Yeah. USA. But look at that. He gets up. Oh! Let's go. That's probably going to do something. Oh. Wow. The fact that he attempted a takedown instead.
It seems like he's determined to try to take Colby down. Wow, this is crazy.
Wow. He took him down, right? Technically, it's an official takedown.
There's no leg locks. Lock the legs.
Takes Colby Covington down.
Damn, he pissed off about that.
Amazing.
He's like, you know what? This is even worse than just knocking out. Beating at your own game, bro.
And you know he did that.
Yep, he's dominant. He wants to dominate him.
So you're talking about my dad? All right.
Well, this performance from Colby Covington as he shoots for a takedown here. Very much
Damn, dude.
He is 35 years of age now.
Look at Leon isolate Colby's right hand.
Oh! 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 That was crazy. He skater swam out of that. Holy shit. The fact that Ian pulled the submission intent doesn't look really good on the judging, too. Shit.
Because he's taking chance. He's actually trying to fight.
Oh, shit. All right, this was the Colby Covington kind of we were hoping to see, you know?
Earlier,
Yeah, bro.
earlier though.
Kind of waited 4 rounds too late, you know what I mean? Oh, my God.
Oh.
Oh!
If you're coming to the clock as your enemy now, likely needs a submission.
Damn, and he reversed it. Damn, bro. And he's like, bro, I can keep you here too. Shit, homie. Oh, my God. He's trying to... Oh! Wow. Oh. Yo. Dude, Leon's got... Dude, Leon's got... Oh, my God. Oh! Nah, he lost it, bro. Fuck. That would have been sick if he did got that shit, but... If I was Colby Covington, I'd be saying some shit in his hair about, like, you know, all that shit talking from before. No, none of it now, bro. You're literally in earshot of it, bro. Shit. Nah, I'm sorry, Colby.
I don't think
There's
so.
no way. You're gonna get UD'd, bro. You're literally gonna get fucking UD'd. There's not a single round you won, bro.
I don't think so, brother.
It felt like it. That reaction was odd. Colby's reaction was a bit odd to me. We were watching a completely different fight.
I was dominating Leon through every round,
The
bro.
only round I'd even give is the 5th. But other than that, bro.
That's because nah, bro. There's no way.
For the winner by unanimous decision and still.
Did Colby really think he won a unanimous decision?
No. I think he just made that face.
Nah, he's not gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the winner and still.
Damn. Let's hear it. Congratulations, thing. You actually fucking did your fight.
This was an interesting fight in that what we got out of Colby was not the same. It was.
Hey, we're back for acting UFC 296's main event. Leon Edwards versus, Colby Covington. Damn, man. All that chirping Colby Covington didn't mean shit, bro. Holy shit. Hey, man, I thought the mental game was going to work, and even Leon acknowledged that it did work until, had his coaches and his team and his mom and them helping out and adjust it. So, and honestly, shout out to him because that was his biggest challenge coming in. And honestly, he utilized that, kept it calm, composed, and even pretty much dominated most of the fight. Jason, what were your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you kind of mentioned, exactly what you mentioned. Like Leon did what he had to do. He was able to stay composed even through all the stuff before the fight and everything like that. But he was able to stay composed and just do what he needed to do. This is just like to me, it wasn't. If the Colby Covington name wasn't attached, I think it just seemed like a typical title defense where Leon just showed his dominance, really.
Yeah,
I mean, it was very one-sided, maybe like towards the end only was where it kind of started switching, but it's too late. And, dude, Colby Covington, I don't know what he was doing, man. He says that like the ring rust thing. I guess that's not. I
But
wouldn't
he,
say that's
but he says ring rust is to go, but I thought I won the whole fight. And you're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
buddy,
I mean, that's just him
I
being-
guess you scratch on me, bro.
That's just
Leon
an
clipped
yeah.
you in the first round.
Yeah,
You were
that's
bleeding,
his,
bro.
that's an opinion, which is not a valid opinion, but it is an opinion. But yeah, no, he was not himself at all. He wasn't doing anything that he usually does, and it just seemed like he was just reacting to everything that Leon was doing, and
Yeah.
it just was not. He was not getting a read on him. He landed maybe like 2-3 major shots that I remember, but other than that, it was very like, you know.
I don't know. I
not very
can't even really recall like maybe one takedown attempt, but even then it was like, bro, like we were joking at the beginning. I was like, oh, how long does it take for Colby to do a takedown? I said like 2 minutes of the first round.
he didn't in the
He
first
didn't
round,
do.
yeah.
He didn't. He only did in the second round. I was like, what is going on right now, guys? Like, I don't know, man. Even his coach was like, yo, what are you doing? What's going on? I don't know if he was phased or Leon just had such good positioning throughout. Like, he kept switching stances really well too. Didn't give kept his momentum going. Like,
Yeah.
I think Colby takes opportunity for the scrambles to not give people that moment, but I think Leon just was so good early on. Even what Colby would try to do, like, but it's weird because Colby didn't even attempt a takedown, which is like, why wouldn't you at least attempt to see what gauge and range are? You think you're gonna get knocked out that easily by Leon? Like, you're known for your like having such great pace and being so durable. I just didn't understand why he didn't want to take such risk early on to figure out where he could capitalize, unless he was really scared of Leon's IQ to where he can get his plan early on. But
Yeah, it just sometimes I was like, man, like with the way he talks, sometimes it's like, man, you're so much expectations, and you know that's what sways people into liking him and wanting to see what he can do. But this time he just kind of proved that none of the stuff he said was right. Like he didn't bring any chaos.
he didn't drown him.
He didn't drown him in deep waters. None of that.
He didn't bring him to hell that he was so adamant about.
None of that, man. It was very, very like. Seemed like he was scared to fight him. Really, it just seemed like he was like just trying to. He was a deer in headlights, just kind of like, all right, let me see what I can do. Let me try a few things, and then somehow got the takedown at the end. But at the same time, it just seemed like Leon wanted to do that and just kind of prove his dominance in the ground game, right? So
Right, which he did essentially, because like every time Colby tried to go to takedown, except to when Leon made the mistake or chose to lose position,
yeah.
Colby wasn't able to do shit. It's how crazy. Oh, excuse me, she was so boring. Shit, I cut that
I think you should keep.
yeah, we'll see. But but like, dude, like, I don't know, man. It was kind of like, and that's the thing is, like, it was on to Colby to challenge the champion.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's one of those cases where it's like, oh, like, I don't like that idea, but in this case, like, Colby didn't really show anything to Leon that could do anything. He didn't clip him once. Like, Leon had all the highlights, all the moments.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know, man. It just shows that Leon is constantly improving, or everyone's scared to fight him. Either way, it just feels that, like, either they're scared of that style, but we know that, it's going to be crazy to see what's next for these fighters. But Jason, any more thoughts, dude?
Yeah, lastly, man, I just
Disappointed.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm just disappointed on what we should have seen from Colby. We didn't get to see any of what he always talks about doing and what he normally does on a lot of his fights. Like, it was very disappointing for him. And yeah, I guess we can go into what's next.
Yeah, and I think I'll start with Colby. I think what's honestly the biggest fight he can probably get next is someone like Gilbert. Both are on like on a loss right now, so I think that would be a good. And plus, if Colby wants to stay within title contention, then sure. I don't think that fighting guys like Wonderboy really. I mean, look, Wonderboy doesn't make sense. You can get Shavkat or Bilal, but again, I mean, they're both kind of like next for the title, basically. So
yeah.
At least that's what I think. What about you?
Yeah, no, I don't think the only person really that would make sense is Gilbert, because
Give him Sean Brady.
I mean, if he wants to go that low, but I mean, because like you said, Bilal is actually ahead of him right now in the rankings, so it's either him or Shavkat that's going to be next.
Right.
And there's no reason for him to fight either one, because it's not like he's about to get another title fight anytime soon. And
and that's the thing.
Probably not.
And that's the thing. What sucks is Colby's like, again, he only has one on. I mean, it's only one on Leo, not one on Leo, but excuse me, only Leo has. He's only had one fight with Leon, so the rematch
could be.
I mean, Colby has to do a great title run or a run for the title now, and it's like, what's the fastest way? You got to do Gilbert or Shavkat or Bilal at this point.
2 or 3 good wins.
Yeah,
that's the only way he's gonna get back.
Yeah, because he's had like 3 chances at the top. Now, 3 chances at the title. Like Masvidal, like didn't even get that many. So it's like, at this point, it's like, what did we like? Come on, guys! Like,
Yeah.
it's fair for the division, at least, bro. Like, as much as I do not like Bilal Muhammad in terms of his fighting style, like at this point, like he deserves it. I mean, no one can deny it anymore. And then Shavkat, honestly, he could wait around and he's probably next after that. So yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, that's pretty much also what could be for Leon. Like we said, it's either
Bilal or Shavkat.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, well, what do you think? How do you think Leon does against either of those guys?
I mean, it's gonna be the Bilal one. I
feel like he walks through him.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because when they fought and there was the doctor stoppage or whatever, like Leon was winning, yeah, like destroying him almost. He got him on wobbly legs, and then he could have probably knocked him out, honestly, the way that fight was going. But it is going to be a lot interesting. It still will be interesting because Bilal, even though he's not the most interesting, doesn't have a huge following or anything like that, he definitely can fight, and he has shown that he's not afraid to go forward either. Yeah. So it should be interesting to see if that matchup happens. But I think the more interesting matchup is definitely the Shavkat Rock.
That's
matchup.
So dangerous, because at that point, normally for anyone else, I'd be like, Leon probably's gonna win. But this one's like, I don't know, man. That's super scary. That might be the most dangerous matchup in welterweight division. Like, I don't think Kamaru would have been able to do good against him. Like, I don't think anyone, bro. So that's what I'm saying. If Colby, you want to jump the line, you beat someone like Shavkat for some reason, because Shavkat wouldn't be the guy to say no to a fight. He's probably going for it. So that's what I'm saying. If for some reason there's some waiting or you interim something like Colby, you got to get at least one win, one solid win. It's not like his regular. He has to get a knockout against someone like Gilbert or someone like that, to really
or just a dominant like submission or something.
Something. We need like another Damian Maia performance. Otherwise, like he's gonna be like a gatekeeper.
Basically.
Yeah, man. Jason, what were your thoughts on the card overall?
Overall, it was for the last fight, I think the only fight that really was like really good was the first fight in the card, which is really weird to say
because of how Bryce Mitchell was comatose basically and twitching, which sucks to say, but like it was very scary to see Emmett do that, and I was like, yeah, man, I've never seen a fighter twitch in the octagon
after getting knocked out. I
think a lot of fans were. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I was like, that was a really wake up moment, at least for us, to be like, hey, yo, like this shit actually.
This is a dangerous sport.
Like,
man.
we've known, like, if you know statistically, boxing is like people die more. But even so, like this really showed that, like, yo, like
this is also
there's some world beaters that can end your shit. So honestly, I hope Bryce Mitchell. He's okay. Yeah, man. And then what else? What was that? What was the fight after that?
It was the Tony Ferguson, Paddy Pimblett, man.
So sad. Tony almost, honestly, if he had clutched up that final round, I think he could have done it, but
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Paddy's really getting by on like these easy-ish opponents, technically, or barely the super uber close decisions that favor the getting judges roasted. Yeah. And then like we said, Shavkat versus Wonder Boy.
I mean,
crazy
pure
fight.
Dominance, man.
Yeah, man. Shavkat really, fucking went in and really. I exposed, even she highlighted how good Wonder Boy's defense is in terms of the wrestling, but even so, there's still more to expose. If you make a mistake, he will expose. It's not being about good defense; it's about perfect defense and being adjusting at every stage in that fight. So.
Right, and I think he also showed respect to Wonder Boy by not trying to strike with him.
Yeah,
because he was like, "Nope, we're just gonna clinch, and then I'm just gonna
show you what you need to work on, Chief."
Yeah, literally. But I mean, in a way, that's like showing respect, because he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to strike with you."
Yeah, and I mean, you saw Wonder Boy clip him a couple of times too in that fight.
He landed a few times, but then Shavkat is that good, bro, that he was just like, "Nope, I'm gonna get as close as possible and just."
Yeah, bro. And then Pantoja versus Royval, same kind of thing too. If Royval could just clutch it a little bit earlier on, Pantoja was getting tired, but he did what he needed to do to retain that belt. So I mean,
the funny thing is, I actually think the way that the Pantoja Royale fight went, that's how the main event should have went.
That's what we thought, right? But guess what, bro? Leon
high pressure, and then
Yeah, and we finally get to the end where Leon showed that, like, no matter what, bro, that 30% champ thing is actually a thing, and that, hey, even if you try to rumble my foundation, I still got a team here that can keep me aligned. And bro, honestly, bro, you can see the chip on the shoulder in that fight. He was trying to show that he was better than Colby in his game too.
Yeah,
which is crazy, man. I mean, bro, honestly, I'm glad that Leon was able to like tamper it down and at least show that like I am a champion and I'll show you what it means in every aspect. Because look, Colby didn't look like much of a challenger in that fight, man. That's the crazy part. Wasn't even close.
Nope, not at all, man. Overall, just a very mid card, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I mean that happens. It's not always.
I mean,
gonna
to be
just
fair, we
crazy.
had so many crazy cards throughout the year. Like freaking, like what? Izzy getting his win against Pereira and then losing against freaking Sean Strickland. Pantoja getting the belt in that crazy fight.
Yep.
I mean, oh my god, the third fight with Usman as well. Like so many different things happened this year, bro. It was craziness. And honestly, guys, it was, even though this card may have not been the best, we still have so many things to look back on that were great. Something to look forward on that could be potentially great as well, man.
Absolutely.
We got the return of John Jones once again. Freaking like Leon Edwards potential fights as well. The lightweight division as well with what's going on with Khabib. I mean, bro, it's gonna be some craziness. I'm sorry, with Islam, with lightweight with Islam, lightweight with Islam potentially, and seeing how those matches go up. But hey, man, I'm looking forward to seeing. And who knows? Maybe Islam might go up to welterweight. You never know. You never know. You never know. We shall see. That's crazy. 2024 is gonna be an exciting year for MMA, and I can't wait to share with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Jason, anything else for the audience, bro?
That is all, man. Hey, just stay tuned for what's coming next. We're gonna be watching all these fights and reacting to them. So.
Yeah, bro, for sure. Guys, hit the video, like, subscribe, stay tuned, share. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Never Bored with MMA. We had a great time covering UFC 296, even though some of the fights did not live up to it. We still got to give props where it is, and I'm looking forward to 2024 as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, my co-host here.
Jason.
You have a good one. Peace.